Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's fixture between London eSports and Copenhagen Flames in ESEA's Advanced Season 30, the playoff bracket. We're already into the round of 8, and London eSports, they'll start on the T side here on Mirage, with already a bit of a game plan. Nades going over towards that A site. Copenhagen Flames will bite initially on the fake, beginning a little bit of a rotation, but it's just there's no players coming out from the side of London eSports. Copenhagen are still holding with these 3 players on B, and that's going to be the correct call. There's going to be the push on through from London. They just cannot find the kills. Frey and Cray will push on through. They eventually get a few kills, but Cray's the last remaining player, but eventually he's taken down. Copenhagen Flames showing a little bit of patience there, waiting for London eSports to eventually either make their way out on that A site, or, like they had correctly called, end up on B. So the first round not going well for London eSports, and something that's somewhat interesting to note between these two teams is that Copenhagen Flames have actually played a different version of London eSports already in the ESEA Advanced Season. This version has yet to be tested against the Danes. They did finish the season rather well in that they had previously, I think, ended on 12-4 as a season win, whereas London eSports, this iteration, ended the season with just the 9 wins. So Copenhagen certainly the favorites in the matchup, but we'll see how London fare. King Messi with the Deagle finds the first kill and ends up getting chased down by Roesh. Middle control was given up because they don't want to give anything away to these Deagles early on. Basso playing passive off of Cat. He's only able to get the 1 kill. Adam might be able to recover that from us, and Hooksy only has a UMP to stop them from taking this B bomb site. He'll do well in finding the first onto Adam, but Link is still being a bit of a nuisance in the apartments. And oh, great. Just cannot line up the headshot. He'll begin to pincer towards that B site, but Farlig's already had a chance to rotate in, and Hooksy picks up Link. It's now just the 1 versus 3 on such low HP here for London eSports. Link will try a number of different approaches, but just waiting for some sort of an opportunity, really, to get this 1 versus 3 going. The bomb dropped on the site. He has to end up sending himself through the window, and that's exactly what will happen. Hooksy will take full advantage of the fact that Link cannot shoot back, or is even really looking in his general direction. So, with London eSports buying up in that previous round with the Deagles, this will be another half-buy sort, or this will be another sort of, not the greatest investment from them, obviously. Just a couple of upgraded pistols. They'll actually have Link on the UMP. I think that must have been a misbuy, considering he's got no armor to go off the back of it. I think that's an ideal situation for sure, so I'd fully expect Link to play a bit of a bait setup here, have Fraser peek first, and that way the UMP has a better chance of actually being able to line up a few bullets and get some money sent his way, since he did have the misbuy coming into this. There's the potential for them to take down Farlig as well, who holds from CT. Just 10 HP, but Console is going to be a lot to do. Eventually he's taken down. Farlig still the first point of contact from here on out, and Fraser, oh, they actually could have set up for the boost of lining themselves up on the head. It's Basso instead to finish things off for Copenhagen. Just the 1 kill with the UMP, but at least he gets something back for the misbuy. This is now where things can turn around here for London. The AWP is out on Fraser, who has yet to find a frag in the game so far. We'll see how they do. Mid-control nades already sent out. Farlig will throw a Molotov to actually prevent the smoke from doing what it was intended to do. He'll have a gap to work with as well, which means things will get a little bit dicey for Adam if he decided to end up top middle. Which, of course, we will see he is instead going over and rendezvousing with his teammates outside of B. Slow approach through the smoke now. The flashes will come through. The first kill is there for Hooksy. The second as well. He's found 2, but the double right back by Messi. That gives them enough space to maybe get this bomb planted, but Messi, as he begins to progress up onto bench, Farlig on the rotation has found all 3 kills. And it's as simple as that, 1-by-1 engagements, and they just weren't expecting him to be there so quickly. Copenhagen, just the 2 deaths in the round. Things could definitely compound out of control if Copenhagen are going to be able to continuously end these gun rounds with 3 or more alive. They've been doing a pretty good job of minimizing losses and reducing the amount of casualties. Adam trying to find an opening over towards connector. Ooh, Messi will find the shot with the scout. That leaves just Roege on the site. Of course, we can see Farlig on the X-ray at the beginning of his rotation in CT, but Roege has done it all. He's found 4 kills on the spray down, and Messi, although he's able to trade things back, surely he can't get anything more done. It's again just the 2 kills found by London eSports, but what a job well done from Roege. The polls will be called. London eSports discussing how they want this round to play out. I imagine they'll go for more of what we saw in the previous gun round, throwing those mid-control nades, seeing what Copenhagen Flames respond with. I think they would do a little bit better to perhaps throw a smoke that doesn't require the bounce at an angle. There are a couple of mid-smokes that you can throw that do land in that way, but a lot of teams have actually gotten very used to throwing these sort of moving jump throw binds, or rather the moving mid control nades that they may not have that in their arsenal. They may have forgotten. Instead, it's going to be a fast move for Copenhagen, and that's going to be the wrong call. Link and Fraser will punish Copenhagen for trying to mix things up. Already into the 3 versus 5. The smoke wasn't quite thrown at the same timing that Copenhagen maybe anticipating. Of course, being stretched thin, there needs to be some sort of an initiative play taken, and that will be in towards the B apartments. Farlig has fully cleared things out. Roege taking real estate over towards ramp. Basso's answered with 1. Roege as well. A second, a third. He's done phenomenal work. Link's in the 1 versus 2 now. He'd gotten the trade in the 1-on-3, and Farlig and Basso, they'll set themselves up for a 2-pronged assault. Link, will he read this situation? So many angles to clear. He might have just lost track of where Farlig could have been positioned. Link. Oh, you can see it's coming. Farlig, he'll backstab Link in the end. And the shining light on that A site, Roege. He delivers when he's needed to. And that will really trump the early advantage that London eSports had. They were in a 3 versus 5. They still clawed it back. This is indeed a best of 3. As far as I'm aware, the map picks, although I think on HLTV they're listed incorrectly, it should be Mirage, Overpass, and then Nuke as the decider. Yeah, currently on HLTV it's listed that after London picked Mirage, Copenhagen then removed Overpass, which is just a typo, but HLTV admins can be forgiven. They do so much for the community. That's going to be a bit of a heartbreaking situation. Every advantage. Basso finding the 1 kill as well when he was situated over towards window. And this time, with London reinvesting into the round, this is going to be a bit dicey. They don't have Fraser on the AWP as they would probably like, but they're still able to find success. Or at least they've been able to trade things out rather successfully in previous rounds. It's really just about holding on to any sort of advantage that they've been able to have, because it's really been Farlig on those rotations so quickly. Whether it's on the A bomb site or the B bomb site respectively, he's still able to have such significant impact. He still has yet to die as well. London eSports, they'll do more of the same. throwing their mid-nades. They're actually going to somewhat dodge a bullet in that Farlig had thrown that Molotov once again into window, and that means that a full coverage window smoke is available for London. Of course, committing 4 players over towards the spot. Oh no. Roesh peers around the top of that connector smoke, and Adam's just unsuspecting. Basso doing a flash as well, allowing Roesh to maybe reposition, get out of the connector, which of course you will. No more aggression around the map. Copenhagen being calm and methodical in this one, knowing that they have the advantage. I think we may see a bit of a split towards A. Focus through top connector. Frazier allowing them to fully clear out that close con angle without too much danger. Throwing the flash to eliminate the possibility of a fight being taken. Frazier will make his way in towards window. They're gonna begin progressing onto that A site. Farlig though, oh, he just barely spots the hand, but cannot line up a correct shot. Roesh finds one as they begin to progress on up. Link and Cray have found 2 kills, however, but the linchpin in this round is Console. The Molotov will prevent him from having the impact that he wanted to have. The question is, did they hear it burn at his feet? That tag sound cue may just have given him away. Basso and Hooksy moving on up. Link finds the kill onto Hooksy. Cray as well onto Basso. Console, limited amounts of impact. He gets the 1 kill onto Cray, but Link is aware of his position. 3 kills for Link in the round, and London have found their first on the T side. The AWP will be re-bought up by Farlig. He's dropped the weapon over towards his teammate as well, and they've actually been bled a little bit dry here, Copenhagen Flames. The highest amount of money that they have on any given player is 700. Which means that should London eSports find another round win, this will be a save situation in the following round, in which case London eSports are likely to be able to get at least 3 on the board. It's really about finding consecutive rounds here. Aggression in towards middle. Farlig still prying forward. Oh, Basso from up high. He gets the spray transfer onto both, and that's the bomb dropped in middle. That pulls the trigger here for London to get aggressive through A. Console doing a lot of damage onto Cray, but cannot find the kill. And now they're just going to set themselves up in mid. Oh, even through the smoke. Hooksy takes down Mezzi. Things are just compounding into Copenhagen Flames' favor. Fraser and Cray, they bring the situation back. Cray is suddenly left all alone as Fraser's dropped. With only 4 HP, this 1 versus 3, surely undoable. Only 2 kills to his name. He'd be up to 5 if he could somehow convert this. He gets the first onto Hooksy. Fantastic shot there. Such a terrible position to be in. Farlig is trained on the angle, and that's going to be a 7th for Copenhagen. Fortunately for London eSports, it's not quite the old economy where they would be drastically reset. Still sitting at max loss bonus as a result of that. They will still be able to afford up AKs, but that's not the round that they were looking for. If you are just joining us and you're not that familiar with Counter-Strike, the first team to get to 16 will be the victor. If it's 15, it will be overtime. Console will mitigate the aggression there from King Mezzi already. Tried to beat past the smokes. Pulled the trigger just before the execute was really there for London. But Copenhagen, they're going to sit behind these smokes and just play fully on the retake. They haven't really baited enough utility over towards B, so Hooksy still has a Molotov to work with, can flush out some of these players in the post plants. CT control gained, though, for London. Oh, they're actually trying to just buy time here for Cray to get this connector flank in. Console and Hooksy, successful trades in towards CT. It's just going to be Fraser to delay as long as possible, find as many kills as possible as well. Cray will pull the trigger early, but he was really supposed to be the linchpin in the round. Fraser cannot line up the shot through the smoke, and it's Basso that covers the defuse. They had a plan in mind, but there was certainly a chance for them to come back in the round, and I think it had to be Cray, who, whether we saw it from his perspective or not, may have just been checked at the in those last few seconds for that flank. Copenhagen Flames have been very aware of all the possibilities that London eSports have available to them. And another full buy here. Only the one round on the T side so far is certainly not enough. Again, a smoke down towards bottom connector allows him to peer over the top of it. Ray will begin to creep on up through the underpass as well. It seems like Copenhagen are fine to just consistently give out mid control. It's really this connector presence that holds a lot of the control for them, but Adam gets both the kills. Link will take punishment in that Farlig found the kill just before Adam was able to decapitate him. Console, though, oh no, he's creeping up from behind. He takes him down as well. That's 3 headshots for Adam towards the NA site, but Hooksy drops the bomb. At the very least, London eSports will be happy and satisfied that there's a smoke to cover that the bomb was dropped. Where Cray will recover that and plant in a position in which Adam and Mezzy can play. It's a pretty decent after plant position. It's really just Cray that is left on a bit of an island, heading towards triple. He's going to try and dance around the boxes as best as he can. See, creeping up with that. Or Adam will swing wide. It's now just Basso 1 versus 3, and Adam's pulled off the ace for London. Things get a little bit dicey, and the IGL himself just decides, I'm gonna have to be the one that shoots every single one of the Copenhagen Flames players down. Fantastic work there from Adam. Making use of the space created by having those 2 kills in towards connector. He opened up the A bomb site and even defends it in the post plant. London eSports have 2 rounds to their name so far, and now the money is somewhat broken here for Copenhagen. A couple of upgraded pistols, an SMG, and a scout amongst the weaponry for that CT side. Basto's the only one with a rifle. And once again, mid-control game for that T side. Adam will find the kill in towards connector as well. Copenhagen had a pretty good grasp of how to defend this A site, and it doesn't seem like they've been able to keep that going so far. Farlig will tag one up with the scout. Basso will pull the trigger with his M4 in towards ramp. He's found 2 kills. Hasn't spotted Cray making his way in towards the window. That means they may just be able to pincer towards this B-bomb site. Hooksy's already pushed through towards underground. He may just be able to backstab Link here, though. In the 1 versus 3. Surely not. Link eventually taken down by the MP9, but may have seemingly lost track of the London eSports players. We'll begin to realize what's been pulled off here by that T side. The bomb will be planted, and Hooksy to try and pull things back in the 1-on-2. It is planted for that market door position, and that's where London will set themselves up. Hooksy, the timing. Oh, Cray just swings out as Hooksy begins to cross, and Cray will catch him before he takes coverage in the site. London eSports now 3 rounds to their name. And finally, in what feels like forever, Copenhagen Flames will be on an eco round. Match will be paused. I assume this will be Copenhagen Flames calling this, unless it's somewhat strategic from London. Just trying to do the mental maths, find out how much Copenhagen Flames have available to them. Of course, they sustained some pretty heavy casualties in that last round, and so I'll have to be careful about how much they reinvest as well. But a relatively quiet game here from Fraser. 2 kills. Hasn't really been the player that's found those entries, and those are the ones that have been really pulling forward for the London camp. As he will prod his way in towards the B-bomb site. We see actually a bit of an unorthodox setup. It was the 4 players in towards window. You just quite see that often in at least FPL, but not quite so much in matches. Of course, this was actually a pretty strong call here for London, given that, or for Copenhagen rather, in the fact that London have gone consistently for that mid control in these rounds, and so why not just meet them head on with the USPs? Maybe find a series of headshots if you could. Oh, Messi, he doesn't fully clear it. Oh no. He's gonna siphon off the rotations, but I imagine... Okay. They're actually gonna be able to beat past him in a second. Messi? Uh-oh. Yeah. Hooksy's gonna be able to... Yeah. That is unfortunate. He doesn't clear all the angles that he maybe should have, given his position, but he's at least bought London eSports the plant in towards the B-bomb site. Link to take down Hooksy as well, trying to flank through the apartments. It's only really the SMG that could have been recovered, and that was already dropped. The only troublesome weapon that London had to worry about. And outside of that awkward exchange at the start, and the unfortunate, or rather, maybe not unfortunate, but Messi, clear your angles, man. It will be a relatively clean round for London eSports. 4 players stay alive. Messi's the only casualty. But he performed his role in the round. Made sure that they weren't walking into a stack on A, and instead gave them a free and wide open B-bomb site. 8-4. There's a one-way smoke thrown by Farlink to try and find something in towards the middle. He gets the first one to Adam. Roej will shut down Link as well. Not as many players committed here for London eSports towards mid, and it somewhat cost them in the round. Fraser's the last remaining player, but already tagged at 15 HP. That round is over in an instant. Copenhagen Flames winning so many of their respective duels early in the round, and London eSports, as a result of that, felt like they needed to push past that smoke in towards ramp, and of course that means it's an easy enough duel for those A players to take. Fast play in towards mid here from London eSports. Nades thrown. Farley will take Sanctuary in this smoke, still playing behind it, waiting for the London eSports players to get impatient. Ooh, Link, he's just given up the angle. Farley will find the first kill into Fraser, but at least Link is able to trade things back. No bomb spotted either here for that CT side, so they can't force early rotations or try and keep that piece of utility trapped towards the top side of middle. Very stagnant play here from both teams. Copenhagen not really moving an inch on the defense, and neither are London just yet. Remaining. Ooh, Cray almost finds the timing there onto Roej, but just cannot line up the headshot. Take him down, but that's a bit of a questionable move there from Hooksy. Getting the information at least that the last 3 players are moving towards B, but he's given up his life in the process. There is, of course, one more defender still here. Basso gets the first, but jumping straight above him. King Mezi leapfrogs over and shuts him down. Console and Roej, the 2 remaining defenders. It will be Roej to flank, Console to at least hold on to market. This really falls into the hands of Roej as to whether he's able to have any impact here from the apartments. Console will throw a flash to try and run distraction as long as possible. That flash is good to actually allow him to creep on forward. He hasn't cleared out Mezi. Console now in the 1-on-2. Kid available, but needs to find these kills rather swiftly. The time will begin to run low. Link will eventually take him out. That's a great job there from London to take that B bomb site, but you have to question why HooXi has pushed. So, it will be a bit of a lackluster buy here from the Copenhagen Flames. The MP9, the Deagle, the FAMAS as well. They certainly have at least utility to play with. You can delay the aggressiveness from the London eSports side. Lig will jump up high and Basso will spot him above the smoke. Farlig will find one as well with the boost. And they're pulling out all the tricks that they have in towards middle. You saw Farlig with the one-way smoke. We're seeing the boosts over, and we've seen the stack in towards middle as well on the eco. And again, Copenhagen will try and push their advantage further. Of course, they don't have optimal weaponry in this round, so it makes a little bit more sense than the prior. Console will try and lock out the whole of the A-bomb site with this position. Won't push much further than that. Scoping up early. Fraser trying to potentially lead the way with the AWP. Craig's just going to clear out all the close angles to allow Fraser to do so. This angle may just catch the pass out. He gets the first, second almost lined up. HooXi deploys the smoke as well to prevent any sort of presence from coming out from the catwalk. It's going to be Mezzi. 1 versus 3. The bomb dropped. HooXi. Flash will come on through. Mezzi able to dodge it so far. Eventually finds the kill on the defender that was most troublesome for him, but the flank is ensuing rather swiftly. Console is coming in it from behind, and I don't think Mezzi's going to have enough time to be able to pull things off. It's going to be Console to creep on forward and take him down from the back lines in the apartments. The flank is successful. London, 5 rounds as they swap into the CT side. Copenhagen, 10. And really, the story of that entire first half was just a mid-control, mid-control, mid-control. The only... There was maybe like 3 or 4 rounds where London didn't decide to go for that, but it came down to really the smoke play as well as just individual duels going so drastically wrong early on. Quite often it was Copenhagen Flames to hold the hold that connector position with 2 players and just have those 2 players find early kills. The same can be said from London eSports. I think they recognized that connector was being overplayed there from the Danes, and so we saw a couple of rounds. I think it was Adam and Link respectively that found multi-kills in that position, and it brought London into winnable situations, and it actually ended up with Adam with an ace in that half. So we will just have to see how things play out for London on the CT side. Of course, they're just having a small little run around. None of this is live for anybody just tuning in. We will have to wait for the warm-up, or rather, I suppose the intermission stages of this game before we can continue and see how London will share and shape up on that CT side. Of course, if you guys are all new to the stream, do be sure to hit the little follow at the top right. London eSports are a brand not just in the realm of Counter-Strike, but if you are interested in some UKCS, they're trying to grow this channel and provide content from all of their different teams. So you'd be seeing more of me if you're interested in that as well. I'll be providing some content every now and again. Only when asked, of course. Predictions for the second half. I think it's hard to say. I think London certainly have the ability to get right back into this game. You just have to look at the pistol round, really, as the first stepping stone. You get that pistol round, you get the first 3 that, or the first 2 that you're expected to. Win the first gun round, suddenly it's 8-10, you know, it becomes a closer affair at that point, and then Copenhagen Flames would be on a bit of a half-buy, unless they're able to get successful plants, but, oh, Fraser, he'll find the first kill in towards middle, but immediate headshot in response. Copenhagen, very quick in this round, and already taking real estate in towards window. Fraser will get the second as well. He was quiet, really, in this first half, but already delivering on the pistol. Copenhagen have yet to find a kill on these defenders, and London Esports will play the advantage. They're going to try and just play for the retake. Gray will jump up and take down Basso. Roej as well, his position spotted out. Albeit a headshot exchanged once more. These players are low on the side of London, but they're slowly dwindling. The Copenhagen players in the post-plant console, taken down through the smoke. It's all players staying alive here for London Esports in the pistol. I'd said it was the stepping stone, and they make sure that everybody jumps on that stone all at once.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
I imagine the second kit was bought as a mistake, but I'm sure they will just call it one of their many beautiful little mistakes. I'm sure I've misquoted that, but shout out to Bob Ross. 6-10, London Esports. That was the first piece of the puzzle. Copenhagen will be at least satisfied that they got the bomb plant down. They've certainly got a little bit of space to work with here in this second half, given how well their CT side defense was. Fraser will give up mid controllers. Seen that increasingly in the matches that I've casted, that teams don't want to give opportunities for these pistols to find early headshots or early kills. Rightfully so as well. These Deagles can certainly be deadly at this level. I think we'll get the first kill in towards second as well. Roej eventually chases him down. Fraser will at least make sure that Roej cannot take any further ground. Yeah, okay, Roej eventually lines up the headshot, but he's down to 33 HP. Cray is low as well. Oh, Adam, don't be giving up another kill, surely. He's trying to fight at long range with the UMP. We're just trying to run distraction as Mezzi begins to creep on forward. Oh, Roej, as he begins to press down the ladder. Still a deagle in hand. You can see Mezzi's giving him a lot of respect here, especially because the shadow gives up his position before he comes around that corner. It's an angle that's favorable. But Adam, with the recovered M4, will eventually finish off the job. 3 players surviving there for London means that their economy will be kept at least somewhat modest. It's not something that they can't bring forward in this round. And actually what's kind of interesting is that because they've got these 2 SMGs still, I imagine there'll be a very aggressive play made by these players. There's, in the early round or in the latter stages, those will be the ones that will try and get the information and additional real estate for the CT side to work with. Link locking things down in towards middle. It's Fraser that found the first kill and repositions, as he was merely helping Adam secure a bit of control in towards connector. Still a bit of a default round here for Copenhagen. Ooh, Roej will spot the head. He maybe gives it an opportunity here. Mezzi's a bit kind of tempting fate there. Just making sure his eyes were functioning correctly. In the double take, making sure to jump up once again. Roej, though, 55 HP. Oh, the head spotted out. Mezzi's found a free kill. But they've lost their defenders on the A bomb site. The problem is that although that they have this control, the bomb is still dropped in towards top middle. So that will need to be recovered. And Mezzi is on a bit of a collision course here. Basso, as he goes to recover this bomb, oh, Mezzi hears it. This is a bit of a problem here for Copenhagen, because as he retreats with the bomb, there's King Mezzi. Varlig is all that remains here for Copenhagen. With 20 seconds remaining, this should be a round 1 by default. But instead by elimination as Frazier takes him down. The game has certainly been a bit turbulent from London eSports, but maybe they've just found their feet on this CT side. Copenhagen will half buy into this. They have upgraded pistols and some armor to work with as well, and immediately making their way out towards the B-bomb site. Roesh was the first to fall. Link gets the first, the second as well. Not suspecting of the third player to be creeping past the smoke. It's Varlig to find 2 kills there with the CZ. King Mezzi still holding strong, however, realizing that he's the primary line of defense. May be able to shoot at the feet there from Hooksy. Oh, he's staring right at it. Cannot line up the shot for Hooksy to go wide. He's has the deagle in hand, but cannot get any additional damage done. The primary objective was to get the bomb down, deal as much damage as possible. And if you're lucky enough, maybe you win the round. But London eSports are able to stave that off. So far, Copenhagen haven't found a round here on this T side. Maybe things begin to change from here on out. Varlig is back on the AWP. We saw his effectiveness with that weapon as well as the AUG on the CT side. Scoped weapons, certainly his forte. As we get into round number 5, will it be enough to get them a win here on this T side? Roesh, the flash is thrown. Mezzi gets the first kill. Dancing between these 2 angles. Console pushing forward way too quickly. Link gets the response frag, but there's space bought. Link cannot take any more fights, really. The fight's just so disadvantageous. Hooksy as well will take down Cray on the rotation. It's a 3 versus 2 here for the Copenhagen Flames. Suddenly just left into the hands of Fraser. Does have the AWP and really just not a whole lot of room to work with. He will back himself away. The save will be called, and Copenhagen get their first round. Given this is the first T-side victory here for Copenhagen, they're not going to chase too aggressively to track him down. Bomb will instead go off towards the and the AWP will still be carried over for the London eSports side. A successful round that was really a contact play that Copenhagen will be happy to take. After winning that one, however, they will go back to more of what we were seeing in the first half. Mid-control and a default here from Copenhagen. One player keeping things steady on the B-bomb site in Roesh, and it will be Basso to make sure that nobody gets too aggressive here on London towards A. Not quite the boost that we're used to seeing, not the full commitment on towards the bricks. It's Link to take down Console. Making use of the A1F, which we're seeing a bit of a resurgence in popularity, given that it has more bullets in the chamber as well as a larger magazine or clip. Never really get those the right way around. Adam, though, ooh, this is a waiting game. And I'm just on the other side of the smoke. Hooksy, they're pretty much staring at each other at this point, but the smoke will begin to fade. Hooksy's the one that's been able to line up the kill. He'll take a lot of damage for his troubles. It's Cray, though. He takes down the bomb. There's still a player close up and personal. He's crept on forward. Cray will get blindsided. He really had an imperative position, really, for London to be able to capitalize off of. He's dropped almost as soon as the opportunity is presented. Basso, though? Oh, he's got the bomb as well, and Mezzi takes him down above the smoke. Hooksy needs to be the one that recovers the bomb. Roesh will try and his best to cover, but Roesh is Taking down the first. Hooksy needs to take these fights, and it's Mezzi who delivers in a big way here for London Esports. Takes down the bomb, as well as the last two players there on the offense. And once again, a pause. London have crept ever closer. Since the start of the second half, it was a 10-5 half there for Copenhagen Flames. But now the round discrepancy, just 1. And I think what's actually been quite successful here from London is that they're not relying on some early aggressive play to get their defense going. Usually, I mean, quite often at the high level, you will actually see teams do their best to make the correct call in terms of getting aggressive in towards different spots, of course using utility to do so. But these passive approaches have actually been more successful for them because Copenhagen are constantly looking for some sort of a push. Setting up in extremely passive defaults just to make sure that if London do get a bit inquisitive, it'll be punished for that fact. The tried and true A execute will come through. Adam will get the first onto Basso. There's no more players in towards the palace, and Adam just waiting for the right opportunity to strike. The flash is perfect, and Cray is delivered as well, giving those 2 flash assists on towards Adam. And Mezzi will take down the last player in console. They've tied things up here, London Esports, Copenhagen Flames. Their lead is no more. And London keeping everybody alive means that their economy can start to build here on the CT side. Of course, there's some economic situations that are worth noting on the side of Copenhagen, in that they should still be on max loss bonus, considering that they only won the 1 round and immediately lost every other. Messi will be a little bit scared taking fights in towards B. Adam, okay. Farlig tracks him through the smoke. Adam trying to retreat, but his path a little bit too predictable. King Messi will deal with the immediate threat towards the B bomb side. Of course, he was the sole defender, so if Roege just found that kill, we saw him tag Messi down earlier, it would have meant a whole lot of control going the way of the Copenhagen Flames. Uh-oh. Farlig's not quite as covered as you would have thought. There's hands in the smoke. They're floating. They're very intimidating, but instead of being scared off by the ghost that was on the catwalk, Link instead punches him directly in the head with the AK. A 4 versus 2. Basso and Hooksy creeping their way up short the best they can. There's an AK in their arsenal. They've been the potential to bring things forward. Basso. Ooh. You're just barely able to creep around the gaze of Link. Link's done well so far. Basso will recover the AK. Oh, firing off a couple of pre-fires. Basso will give his position away, and Cray had short covered either way. London Esports, in what feels like, well, never, have found themselves in the lead for the first time in this game. This was London Esports' pick. Overpass isn't a map that they're sad about having in the pool either, so they'll get it twisted. This could very easily fall away from Copenhagen. It's such a strong lead in that first half, but they've seemingly lost their stride. This round, however, Adam was taken down early on, so see if Copenhagen are able to capitalize on the space that creates. One player in towards window, but Fraser, maybe the timing misaligned. He just was, I think, knife out, attempting to rotate it towards CT, and Roa has just done so much for this round. He's found both the players attempting to rotate in towards the B bomb site just because Roege was just such a heavy presence. And around where an immediate save call is likely here for London. Sure, they have money to fight back in, but they have to think about the bigger picture, you'd think.
Bomb has been planted.
Think we'll fight things back. Oh, this may just tempt them into it. Hooksy being dropped early on. But no, London eSports, more patient than some. Will instead opt to hold on to these AKs. They did somewhat attempt to track these players down here on the Flames, but ultimately not too vested in that idea. They keep 4 alive for that T side, and they're thinking about their own economy. As London eSports were saving those weapons over. Copenhagen have to do their best to build up a reserve amount of cash such that, of course, there is a bit of a safety net, and if they lose this round, they would still be at 3,400 lost bonus, but oh, there it is. Cray with the flash assist. Fraser, an easy kill lined up on towards Farlig. As he peered over the smoke in towards Connector. Fraser even setting himself up to allow Mezzi an opportunity to find a frag. The flash will come through. Roege will duck out of sight. Oh, he's so good at those angles. Roege down to 8 HP. Although he's done a decent amount of damage in exchange, it won't quite line up considering they are a man down already. Roege may be as good as dead. He can certainly have some impact given he's allowed the position. So that's the gameplay. Oh, Adam spamming these players down. All the players tagged so low here for the Copenhagen Flames. It's really just Basso that has high HP. Great, cannot prevent the bomb from going down, just narrowly dodging the spray. But Basso has to do most of the heavy lifting. Roege just trying to delay as long as possible given his circumstance. Basso will try and support at a distance. The flash will come through over towards ramp. Roege not taking the initial fights. He's trying to find these kills. He gets the first one to Link. The second, not quite lined up, and the defuse was already on the way there for London. A desperate attempt, but one that needed to be made. Copenhagen just unable to defend in the post plant. And a great job in terms of doing damage there from the London eSports players, just because Copenhagen never really had many opportunities to fight back. Even in those duels where they were given chances to hit those headshots, they just had such low HP that even if they had the drop on a particular player, there was very high likelihood that they would get taken down in the affair. I think that's wrong to say. I think Liquid Astralis is about as close a matchup as it gets. Obviously Astralis the more successful in the two, but Liquid are close, or they've been close for a while, but I think just have struggled to get over that final hump. Adam, Fraser and Link finding 3 kills. It's just the 2 so far for the Copenhagen Flames. Roege and Farlig will be the ones to try and convert the post plant. If they're even given the chance, Roege will have to back away. He was being burnt to a crisp. Ooh, Farlig will take a couple of bullets as he goes to the plant, but now it's about how much control that they can establish given their circumstances. Farlig could have potentially, yeah, he's going to make some ground towards CT, and this way they can split the post plant fairly evenly. Roege is the one that has to really hold his own, be as patient as possible, allow Farlig to have some impact. Roege just running distraction for now. Farlig just cannot line up the kill. Roege as well struggles to line things up, and it's London once again to climb back through in towards that A site and get the retake. A 14th is picked up by London eSports, and an immediate pause coming into round number 27. The struggles will continue here for the Danes on this T side. 9 rounds for London in the half. Only the 2 for the Copenhagen Flames. And I think part of what is making this so difficult here for the Danes is that they're not really running a default in which they're trying to bait utility towards both the A and the B bomb site. They're playing extremely slow. They're allowing these players to go for these plays. You've seen Roej multiple times creep his way up to the end of the apartments just trying to find a fight, but he's not really attempting to feign any sort of an execute. Not trying to bait out utility. These Molotovs have been held onto for London eSports, and when they commit and finally actually lose one of these sites, they have those Molotovs to then flush these players out, and it's what Copenhagen Flames were also good at doing on their CT side respectively. Middle has really been controlled by the terror. Oh my goodness, Link. I don't think he quite realizes how lucky he was. He gets a kill regardless of the fact he's been flashed up. Messi trying to help him out, eventually dropped by Farlig. 2 AWP kills for the Copenhagen Flames. And Farlig may continue to be a nuisance here. This is going to be all about timing. Eventually he'll give up the angle. Try and meet up with his teammates and begin to progress on towards this B bomb site. Farlig leading the way here with the AWP. It'll be Fraser to hit the first shot though. Farlig and Basso attempting to make it towards the site. It's just Farlig now. 1 versus 3 with an AWP. Fraser, if he remains patient, allows his teammates to get into position before Farlig strikes back. But, oh, Farlig. Oh, he made a step. Fraser's heard him as well. He knows he's close to the market, but he's being spun around the wrong direction. It's Adam who blindsides him as he attempts to make the play. A couple of really unfortunate timings there from Copenhagen. First, Farlig not lining up that shot onto Link, just catching the tiniest glimpse of him and getting hooked on the wall. It was Link that dodged an AWP shot and found a kill regardless. And Fraser in that 1-on-3 against Farlig is narrowly evading his gaze. It surely doesn't say we're just chatting, does it? Oh, we are just chatting. I could have sworn that I updated that one, but we're no longer just chatting. We're watching Counter-Strike, as we have been for a while now. 15-12, London eSports. Can they get over the finish line? It's going to be a full buy here from Copenhagen. And once again, a lot of utility expended in middle. Nothing has really changed for the CT side here of London. Ooh, Hooksy will eat a decent amount of damage with that nade. Down to 58. Not quite straight to the face, but it blows up in his. Razor will hold with the AWP. Farlig has been a catalyst for them so far, but he's immediately taken out of the round. Link has dealt with one of the more troublesome players here on the Copenhagen Flames, and will the 4 other players on the Danish roster be able to claw things back? Oh, Hooksy, he doesn't spot the feet! Adam still not able to find a kill as a result, however, as he was sitting in the smoke. But a lot of pressure applied to these 2 A-site defenders. Fraser is taken down. It's now just left onto Cray. They've dealt with the player on towards short as well. They heard Crate take Sanctuary in the smoke. He's dancing around it, gets the first onto console, but such a difficult position to be in, especially with the flames coming through. And Messi in the 1 versus 2 now, as he took down Basso, attempting to make it towards the bomb site. Both Roej and Huxi hold similar angles there. They'll do their best to swing on out at the same time. Messi deploying the Molotov. Cannot finish off the kill. It's Huxi instead to close things out for the Flames. 15-13. They stave off the map 1 victory here from the London eSports side. Very good contribution from the Copenhagen Flames in that round. Spreading out those kills, it's Farlig that opens up the A bomb site. Kray's taking a bullet for his troubles as well, sitting in towards triple. He'll be left high and dry as nobody on the side of London was close enough to prevent any of that utility or spam from coming through. And London eSports, you can see they're already just backing off to save. They've run out of reserve cash, and holding onto these 3 weapons will have a huge amount of impact for them in the following round. This is Copenhagen taking a 14th. The individuals of Copenhagen stepping up when they need them most. Farlig and Basso getting those first 2 kills. And really Farlig, again, I mentioned him as the catalyst. He was given an opportunity, took down Adam early on. Even tagged down Cray to low HP as well, making things incredibly difficult to defend there on that A bomb site. A pause will be called, and it's likely London talking over this last round, managing their economy as well as they need to drop weapons over. An MP9 is all that Adam 9130 will be able to use in the round, at least in the early stages, as he can recover one from a fallen comrade or enemy. I do think that is right. It has been a bit questionable at times why Copenhagen haven't hunted more aggressively. Especially when they know weapons are being saved over, but we'll see if that has any impact in this round. Fraser, Molotov out of window. Copenhagen already an early plan. 4 players making their way in towards that B-bomb site. Farlig still leading the way with this AWP. It's really been reliant on him finding this first pick, and if he's taken down in the early round, he's get a little bit more dangerous. Messi pressured in towards B. He'll throw a smoke to try and delay the Copenhagen Flames from taking him down. Get the first duel against Roej, but they've taken control. They've taken 2 of the London eSports players down, and it's into the 3 versus 5. Fraser, Cray, and Adam. What are you made of? Can you bring things back? It's Farlig to take down Adam. Oh, and Fraser falls victim as well to Farlig. Cray, 1 versus 4, has to go for this as it's the last round of the half. This is likely going to OT as the Copenhagen Flames have done it. They got the 3 in the row that they needed, and Farlig delivers on a triple kill. The entry there from Roej, but Farlig finishes things off. It's 15-15, and I thought this was going to be a close affair, but straight into map 1, it's going to be OT. I think something to note from this game is that this is not the most aggressive Counter-Strike that we're seeing from both teams. Both play very passive on the CT side. We saw more pushes really from Copenhagen on their respective CT side, but usually when they'd already identified where players were, So they'd maybe be in a 4 versus 3. They'd spotted 2 players in towards middle. So a player towards the B apartments or towards Palace on A would try and push forward and get some additional space so that even if London eSports ended up on the A or the B bomb site respectively, they had that sort of wild card to throw in where they'd either have deep apartments control or a player sitting in Palace waiting for the bomb to go down. It's, of course, these rounds actually don't matter. What I will do is, because it does somewhat break up the flow of gameplay, I'm going to remove the 10-second bomb warning music. It makes things a little bit more clear for you, the viewer, so you can sort of, you know how much time players have, but sometimes that not knowing is what builds anticipation. Yeah, it's fine. I knew you were joking, but I also recognize that it could have been confusing if you just tuned in like, oh, it's a 1 versus 3, why are people not moving? Either way, we will get away from intermission. Copenhagen, they'd struggled really on that T side for a while, but eventually finding their feet towards the end of the second half. Will they ride that momentum forward here in the first overtime and bring the fight right back towards London eSports? Adam! Okay. Farlig missed a sitter of a shot as he spotted out the legs of Adam, but catches him as he retreats through the smoke. ESEA run MR3 16K. Which means that you don't have to be too concerned about how you spend your money on the CT or T side respectively. It will be full gun rounds all the way through. Oh, Mez is getting aggressive in the apartments. Roej. He's been here time and time again, and Farlig will take down Link as well. He was the sole defender that was left on towards the B bomb site, and really, if you're London eSports, you should identify that you probably can still go for this. I mean, there's no risk really in doing so. Hoaxy is dead. Grenade to finish him off. I think that's Mezzy trying to take the round into his own hands. If he fully clears out the B bomb site, then Copenhagen Flames can potentially get pincered or trapped in towards A or mid. But I mean, even at the highest level, you can't make a play like that without committing a smoke or a molly or really securing that space with utility first, and then seeing if there's any players behind it on the side of Copenhagen. I think Mezzy for sure being a little bit too aggressive and far too early when Copenhagen have been pretty set in playing the rounds out default. 3 players in towards, or 2 or 3 players in towards middle to make sure that London aren't pushing, and to potentially pincer towards the A and B bomb site respectively. But this is a bit of a change of pace. Fraser goes for the peek off of the catwalk, takes down Hooksy. Roej instead not towards B. He's at the A bomb site, finds the entry regardless. Adam caught in transition as he begins to retreat towards CT. It's the 3-on-2 as Console and Basso take full control of the site. The bomb will be planted as well, as Fraser made sure to play extremely passive in towards CT. He didn't want to give this post plant away here to the Flames. Oh, but Fraser caught switching to his nades as he just as Basso peaks. It's fantastic there from Basso. It's given him enough space to reposition as well. They've somewhat allowed him to escape. It's Console that will instead pull the trigger. And now into the hands of Mezzi. Kit available, but no smoke now as he deployed that connector, and that's Basso finishing off the job. 3 kills for him, and the Flames are certainly riding the wave here of T-side rounds. You can see the impact of having 16k in MR3. Everybody has everything they could possibly want. Even a couple of players capped out here on the Copenhagen Flames. Means money is not important and every gun round is treated equally. Great. Pushing aggressively towards the apartments, but he's taken down Basso. A huge performer there from the Flames in the previous round. London eSports have found the first pick. Fraser tags down Hooksy as well, just over-flicking, really. Could have just pulled the trigger, but getting caught somewhat by surprise. Roage will find the kill on Mezzi. Mezzi's done a pretty good job at finding those kills, especially when Roage has just been there by his lonesome, but Copenhagen have found an advantage with Console finding Link. Farlig will push that even further. He's just going to hit every shot that's presented in that manner. Fraser, do you do it? Do you take that chance? Hooksy will get the plant in. Spam doesn't come through. And Console takes him down for the back line. It's going to be Console to finish off the job. Copenhagen have successfully found all 3 rounds in the first half of OT. London eSports, I will remind the viewer, ran into a lot of issues on their T side. Down 8-1 at one point. Able to bring it into a 10-5 half. So we'll have to see which London eSports T side appears. Is it the one from the early stages of the first half or the latter stages? And can they bring 3 rounds together? Because Copenhagen on their CT side were very strong. One more round is all that's necessary for Copenhagen to close out map 1. It needs to be flawless here from London. Farlig with the AWP still prodding here. Link capitalizes there on the miss, down to 16 HP. A nade would finish him off, but Farlig swings out just before the nade can convert. Link and Adam finding 2 kills for that T side. And once again, here is the response from Copenhagen. Console taking some ground over towards ramp. He'll get a little bit inquisitive and see if he can't fully clear out that position for his team. And you can see Mezzi is somewhat privy to it. He knows that this is likely the play with Console. Takes down the sole defender that he needs to be concerned about. Hooksy is there on a fast rotation. He finds the first and the spray. Not quite converting, but he's bought more space. The flash is perfect. He's brought it to equal numbers, and Basso completely blindsides them. King Messi now left in the 1-on-2. Basso is tagged down low. It's really Hooksy needs to be concerned about, and the fast trade potential that's available there for that CT side. Can Messi keep them going in map number 1? The bomb is dropped and still needs to be recovered. There's so many angles to clear. It's Basso and Hooksy that push through CT. They close out map 1, which means we will be going to a map 2